It is day 16 of March Madness, and I am here with my magic circle for a little mini workout inspired by the two exercises today, scissors and bicycle in the Pilates mat work. Now, I also have with me today a foam roller. If you have a foam roller, we're going to use a foam roller for class today. If you don't have a foam roller, a small ball will work for this. I'm going to use it to prop under my hips. A rolled up towel would work for this. Really, you can make just about anything work, maybe even a yoga brick just under your hips. I just want us to have lifted hips for our little series today. So grab your magic circle, grab your foam roller. I just have a little foam roller today, but a long one works great as well. Again, we just need something underneath your hips. So what we'll do is have your circle there nice and handy. Do a little bridge and lift up and put your roller, or if you're using something else, a ball or something, put it in and get it all anchored in your favorite spot, and then make sure that you feel comfortable kind of staying on there. Right, that we're not going to roll off of there. And then here's what we're going to start with. We're going to take our legs and do a fancy thing with our circle. I'm going to have the top pad on the top of my leg, and then my calf, lower leg, kind of right above my Achilles on the top pad of my magic circle. This does take just a little maneuvering, I will say, to get here. All right, so my legs are in a little bit of a split, both on a pad. They're almost stacked on top of each other. My hips are up on something. Arms can be in your favorite spot, but make them active. All right, so we're going to start here. And then find those core muscles, and we're going to do a little squeeze into our circle and release. Should fire up those muscles in our legs and hips. Little squeeze and release. I feel like we should do 5 of these. 3, 4, and 5. And then what I want you to do is just a gentle engagement. I want you to inhale, lower your legs away from you, just your working level where you can go and keep your abs in and not arch or move in your back. Exhale to come back up. It's fine to be small on these. They kind of feel like a lot of work because we're squeezing that circle as you lower and come back. Let's do 5. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lower, reach them away. Exhale to bring it back. Inhale, lower, reach away. Exhale to bring it back. Remember your working level, how far you go. Lower, and then come back. All right, let's try it the other way, of course. Now we got to switch it. One leg on top, one leg underneath. A little bit of a balancing act as you get there. Maybe you have to adjust like me. Find a magical spot for that magic circle. Okay, and then we'll take our legs. So my legs feel like they're over top of my hips. My circle's in there. All right, I'm going to start with my squeezes and just activate my legs and hug the circle. Hug, release. 2, remember we did 5. 3, 4, one more, 5. And then we'll do those same, lower the legs away from you, keeping abs pulled in, and then bring the legs back over your hips. We're going to do 5. We're just keeping a gentle engagement. You don't have to overly squeeze the circle. Trust me, just a little gentle engagement in will be enough. Inhale, we'll lower, reach. Exhale, we'll bring it back. Let's do 2 more. We'll lower the legs and bring them back. 1 more time. Lower and bring them back. Okay, now we're going to come back to center, and I want us to have our magic circle in between our legs in parallel. Mine are just like right above my ankle bones on there. And we're going to play with a little, I'm going to call it the bicycle action, holding our magic circle. Abs are pulled in. You're going to reach your legs out. You'll bend them, bring them back in, and do a little cycling, right? So we reach, we bend in, and we kick the legs up. How big you go is that working level, and you're just going to have to play with the magic circle. I do want you to hug in some, but you don't have to overly hug in. I feel like if you try to hug in too much, the circle's going to get a little wonky, do funny things. Feels like we should do about 5 of those. I think that might be 5. Let's do 1 more. And then go ahead and reverse. See if you can backpedal that action. Keep your magic circle and bicycle those legs. Bend, kind of reach low. Of course, the bigger you go with those, the more core work it's going to feel like. Inner thighs are getting a workout, of course, the whole time. Let's do 2 more. Bend, reach out, squeeze in. Kind of just playing with how much you can hug your inner thighs into that circle. Good. Okay. Now let's reach up. Let's grab our magic circle. Let's take our legs to tabletop. So just make sure your roller's in a good spot there, right? Legs at tabletop. Flex your feet for me on this one. We're going to have the arms kind of right over top of our chest, shoulders anchored. Gentle squeeze in. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it a knee sway with a little twist. So you're going to take your knees to the right, and it is fine to lift your hip if that feels okay. Keep your shoulders anchored, but the circle can move to your left. And I think you'll find that it's not a big movement, but it does help keep your shoulders anchored. So you get that twist feel. And then abs pull in, bring you back to center, where your circle's over your chest and your legs are kind of centered over your hips. And then we go the other way. So the knees start reaching and you can lift your hip, and then the circle might just go a little bit over to the side. That's going to help you keep those shoulder blades anchored in place, keep your shoulders anchored, and then come back center. We should do like 3 on each side just to play with that. Remember, your shoulders don't get to move. The circle moves. The arms move. You're hugging into the circle as you go side to side. I especially love this little knee sway on the roller. I feel like I get a nice little massagey effect across those glutes, across my backside as I do it. All right, let's do 1 more on each side. Knees reach one way, circle reaches the other way. Stomach muscles pulling in, our legs come back to center. 1 more time. Knees go one way, circle goes the other. And then we come back. Okay, we're going to keep our circle, extend our legs up to the ceiling. We're going to do some scissors here. I want you to push the circle into your leg as you do a little press. And that bottom leg is doing a reach. How big of a scissor you do is that working level for you? Press. Every time you press the circle in, try to feel the abdominal muscles working a little bit more. Let's do 1 more on each side. Press, and press. Now, take your legs together over your hips. Keep the circle right over top of your chest. Legs are in parallel. I want us all to lower our legs to our working level. That might not have to be super far, right? Wherever you fire up those core muscles and it's work to be there. Now we're going to keep our shoulders anchored, squeeze our circle. We're going to do these little bitty, I'm like a flutter scissor, right, out here. But they're way out there in space, so you are feeling your core muscles. Little flutters, maybe a little inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pace. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then bring those legs back up over those hips. All right, let's test out our bicycles here. With your magic circle. Now, always an option. You could keep it right here over your chest. If you want a little super challenge, take the arms back overhead. The further they are from your center, the more core work it's going to be, the more work it's going to be to anchor your shoulders. And then start playing with your bicycle. I like to start small with my bicycle and then work my way bigger. Right? See where that challenge place is. Maybe you get way out there where you can touch the mat and drag back in. Hips are trying to stay nice and stable. Abdominal muscles pulling in. And of course, we're gently squeezing that magic circle the whole time. Let's do 1 more on each. And then go ahead and reverse that. Back pedal. Dip your toe down. Reach out in space. Abdominal muscles pulling in. We got all the connections. All right, let's do 1 more on each leg. And then bring those legs back up over space. Okay, set your circle down. We're going to end today with one of my favorite things to do with that lifted hip position. I call it like the child's pose here in the foam roller. So I'm going to hold the backs of my legs and just let the legs pull toward me. And see if you can find a little bit of that just lengthening out through your low back. Lots of variations you could do on this position. You could let those knees be nice and open. You could have them a little tighter together and hug them in. Right, maybe you want, sometimes I'll take my hands on the insides, reach through, grab my big toes kind of thing, and really open my hips in that position. Do your version that feels good. And then when you're ready to come out of there, just Bring those feet to the mat. Lift your hips, push your roller out. Come all the way down. And then we are all done for today. Thank you so much for joining me for some Magic Circle fun. I hope to see you back tomorrow.